Hey guys, welcome to W&L Review, and as you can see, I'm by myself again. Anyway, the movie I will be reviewing today is The Talented Mr. Ripley. It is a 1999. I was going to say 2000 something. 1999 movie. It's rated R, so not for young children. It is not. No, no. It's directed by Anthony Mangala. Mangala. I'm sorry if I butchered your name. And it stars Matt Damon, Jude Law, Gwyneth Paltrow, Philip Seymour Hoffman, and James Redhorn. And basically, to get to the meat of the review here. So, Matt Damon plays Tom Ripley, and as the title of the movie says, The Talented Mr. Ripley. Well, Tom Ripley is kind of how do I put it? He's kind of a nobody, he's very gifted. He's, goes to a prestigious school, or he knows people. Anyway, and James Redhorn, who his character is Herbert Greenleaf. Herbert Greenleaf. Anyway, he gets to talking to Tom and kind of says, "Hey, I'm going to pay you to go get my son." He's kind of like, his son's kind of a rich boy who just decides he wants to be, careless and, not have a care in the world and just spend the family money. And so Herbert wants to get his son back to come back to the States. So Tom agrees, and he's paid a pretty big amount of money to bring back Dickie Greenleaf, who is played by Jude Law. In the meantime, Tom kind of befriends them, and him and Gwyneth Paltrow, who is played, her character is Marge Duval, and they become like instantaneous friends. And he kind of plays it like they knew each other back in high school, and all this. And anyway, they become sort of fast friends, and Tom kind of falls for Dickie Greenleaf, but he also is like kind of envious of his life and his lifestyle, and what what Dickie has. So Tom has decided to take advantage of Dickie Greenleaf and his money. And in the meantime, unbeknownst to Tom, Dickie finds out, and then mistakenly they go stupidly out to the middle of the ocean on a boat and have this argument. Well, Tom decides he's got to do something before Dickie goes back to the land and inland, and tells everybody, what Tom is all about. So he hits Dickie with the oar, and of course he gushes, his head's gushing, with blood and everything, and they get in a scuffle, and he throws him overboard, and Dickie is no more. Then it's this kind of campaign that he plays this thing of, oh, Dickie went and he left, he went back to the States, or he went to France or wherever, and he tells Marge these things first, and and Marge is like, I don't understand. Everything was going good with us, and everything was great, and he just leaves. He doesn't give me any warning. He doesn't tell me anything, and in the meantime, she contacts Dickie's father, and she also contacts Freddie, who's played by Philip Seymour Hoffman. And Freddie did not like Tom from the beginning. He's just like, no, something's wrong with this guy. He's just something stanky. And in the meantime, he figures out, oh, so you're full of hooey. And Tom says, I don't know what you're talking about, Freddie. I told Marge. He left. He I don't know. He wanted to be alone. He wanted to be able to have time on his own. Well, Freddie goes to leave the apartment building, where they are. I want to say France, but don't quote me on that. Anyway, he goes. It doesn't look like any apartment building that I've ever seen. It's enormous. Anyway, he goes to leave and he finds the housekeeper, and he says, have you seen Dickie Greenleaf? And in the meantime, Tom has come out of the apartment and he looks over the balcony edge, and he sees Freddie talking to the housekeeper, and she points up to Tom, and so then Freddie goes up there, and so Tom is freaking out, like, okay, what am I gonna do? How am I gonna get him off my back? And so he finds this statue, this bust of somebody. Anyways, he stands behind the door and he waits till Freddie comes in and he smacks him in the head with it. Of course, instantaneously, Freddie dies. And so now he's got a dead body in his apartment that he has leased under the name of Dickie Greenleaf, not Tom Ripley. Anyway, now Herbert Greenleaf is here where Dickie was, and Marge is there, and they all are talking, and the father is now, pretty much convinced that his son is just, flown the coop, and he's just still being irresponsible, and Marge just doesn't buy it. She's like, no, this isn't Dickie. He's not like this. And the father's like, yes, he is. He's irresponsible, blah, 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 blah. And they go to leave, and Marge basically threatens Tom and says, I know what you did. I know that you had something to do with Dickie's disappearance. I don't know how, I don't know what, but I know you did something. And in the interim of all this, he's also met another woman, and he's told her his name was Dickie Greenleaf instead of Tom Ripley. So he meets this woman again on the way out of wherever it was, France, I want to say. But anyway, he meets her kind of haphazardly. It was he was out on the boat deck, and he was there. He was traveling with a companion of a friend of Marge's and Dickie's, and I don't remember the guy's name. Anyway, he and Tom hit it off, and they were like kind of a flirtation thing going on. Like they were the beginnings of maybe a relationship. And anyway, they're in the cabin, and the young man is talking to Tom, and he Tom says, tell me who Tom Ripley is. And the young man says, the guy says, well, he's kind, he's da 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 da, and all this. And in the meantime, Tom kind of plays his head on the guy's back as he's talking, and all you hear is then the struggle. Tom ends up killing this young man, and that's where the movie stops or ends pretty much. Is he kind of took identity of Dickie Greenleaf, and then he probably is going to take identity of this young man that he just killed. It is a suspenseful movie. It doesn't have like a lot of blood, but it's got a lot of language in it, I will say that. So the language part, you would not want to watch this with your young children. It is definitely a psychological thriller. It's definitely one that I would say not to watch with young children. You could maybe watch it with teenagers, preteens, maybe. That's stretching it. It is a really good movie. It's an older movie. Like I said, it's a 1999 movie, so give it a shot if you find it. I know they had it on Netflix there for a while, so you might check it out and see. And with that, I will say thank you everyone who have subscribed to our channel. The ones that have been with us since the beginning and the ones that are brand new. And thank you to Nate, also known as That Nate Guy on YouTube, and Marion, also known as Life Unboxed, for their continued support for our channel, as well as their friendship and their kindness to us. And excuse me, if anybody would like to join our Patreon, the link will be in the description below. And there's different tiers that you can just decide if you so choose to join. There are 3 different tiers to look at and go from there. Anyways, with that, guys, I will say see you next time. Bye.